Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm in charge. Yeah, exactly. Or you can have a laser
just looking for a quiet place to set up and do a little streaming from. Kind of an oxymoron looking for a quiet place in a place like this with 100,000 people here, but I think we'll find something. And we'll go off on the edge here. Obviously, we're coming to you from NAB. Probably the most fun I have all year. Really, with all this stuff, so much gadgetry, so many things to see. There's the booth with the cameras we use for our setup in the studio. Nice.
And I'm like, there's video.
Look at that LED screen. Would love to have that in my studio. Woo! Hey, only $21,000. I can do it.
It's like now we're at
All right. Maybe not much of a quiet place around here. Oh well, we'll just have to. Oh, there's a little quiet area. Maybe we can do that. All right. Turn the camera around, huh? How's that? I have no idea what time it is, so I don't know if we're on time or off time. We're here at 4 o'clock or whatever. Hey guys, Robert Imbriali here, obviously at NAB Show in Las Vegas. Having a lot of fun. So much to see. And one of the cool things, I guess, for me when I come to this show, I'm always looking for, sort of what the trends are. What's going on last year being an election year. What we saw was a lot of money coming into this industry. Why? Political ads, right? They drive the future here. So we saw a lot of that. This year, not an election year, so things are a little quieter. It's interesting to see how different that is, how much it changes. Because for so long, you look at, say election year, the money's coming in, it's flowing, there's a lot of innovation. Well, there's innovation this year too. It is moving very much in the area of AI. More than anything. I think we talk a lot about AI. People don't really understand AI. AI is an assistant. It's artificial intelligence. Yes and no, but I look at it more as an assistant, help you out to do the work that you need to do. And boy, we have a lot of work to do these days. Putting news shows together, putting interview shows together, and live events and all kinds of things. So any help we can get certainly is very useful, very helpful for us. So I can't look at the chat room while I'm streaming, so I'm hoping everything's going well. Well, no matter what, it's recording on the phone here. So if it doesn't end up streaming, well, we'll have to post it later. All right, so what I want to share with you today is this thinking about if we're looking at the way things are going right now. I think a lot of people are still freaking out over the tariffs. We keep seeing that again and again in the news. There was a fake post that the tariffs are going to be paused for 90 days. Apparently that was fake. And a lot of people got messed up about that and got really angry about it. And they're saying, the person who put that out there, they probably need to be taken care of, if you know what I mean. So I think that's a reality that has to happen. We saw the market drop this morning. I haven't looked at it this afternoon, but I know it was down over like 1,100 points already. The first thing in the morning, I was sitting with breakfast with Kevin Pascoe, Kevin the buzzer guy in our chat room. I'm staying with him, and he's been a very gracious host. And we were looking at that. That's the first thing we looked at this morning. We wanted to see the news. What was going on? Well, we talked about it on the Telegram channel yesterday. One of the things we said is like what we're going to see is Black Monday today. We're going to see the stock market drop. Sure enough, that happened. I don't know that it's going to continue. I'm hoping that won't go too low. Although, there are some that are saying it's important that it does that, and I think Trump has been warning us, if you will, by saying, hey, the stock market's going to dip, it's going to look ugly. Hang with us, stay the course. Don't freak out over it. It's just part of the game. And I heard there were 70 countries now that have reached out to Trump, the administration, wanting to renegotiate the tariffs. So I think that was pretty cool. That means, like it or not, the tariffs are working, right? And I think we got to look at it from that perspective and count our blessings. It's so easy to get caught up in the nonsense and getting all upset about stuff. And for me, I got to look at the macro. I've always got to look at the bigger picture. And a show like this really helps me to do that, kind of get out of the studio and kind of see what else is going on, what other people are doing. And one thing you might ask is, okay, you're in a place where there's all this media. Are they all on one side politically? And the answer is, yeah, mostly yes, they are. And you can see it when I go up to the media room. You can see that, if I was talking about this stuff up there, there won't be too many fans, right? So one of the things that we notice is you ask the questions like, why is it that way? Right? So one of the things I see is it's that way because everyone hires the same kind of person. So think of it like high school. I guess high school is probably the best way to think about it. You want to be in the clique, you want to be in the in club. Well, you got to kind of be like everyone else to be in that club. And I think it's no different in these big corporations. They're not going to hire somebody who's got an opinion that differs so much that they can't talk to them anymore, or they're causing trouble. So they're not on the team. And really what ends up happening is you end up with the echo chamber, and everyone thinks, I believe that, and I'm going to believe it at a higher level. I'll believe in a higher level than you even. And what ends up happening is those people just keep, talking to themselves, and it's really, they create their own echo chamber. And that's what we call today the media. And we're seeing it here. You can see it, it's very obvious when I'm hanging out with these people and meeting them and having these conversations with them. You can see they're all on the same page. It is almost stunning to see. But if you think about the high school analogy, right, that's kind of interesting. The high school analogy is interesting because in high school, you wanted to be with the in club, you had to be just like them, right? Oftentimes I was never part of, by the way, in high school, never part of the in club, never, right? I know a lot of us on here, we're just not. Because we weren't like them. We're different. We think for ourselves. We're independent thinkers. I never sought to dress the way other people dressed or believe what other people believed. It was always up to me. I wanted to be, an independent thinker. And that's what led us here. But you don't have that in media. And I think that's something that, needs to change. It is changing. There's a lot of energy here to the podcast community. You know why that is? Because we're getting bigger audiences than some of the mainstream media. Yep, we really are. And I'm hearing that again and again. I've been talking to a lot of the vendors here. I've been here since about 9 o'clock this morning. I thought I took over 10,000 steps, but according to my phone, I only took 8,000. Boy, it feels a lot more. It must be getting old. But what you're finding is a lot of people are really recognizing that this world, this podcast world that we're in, oh my gosh, we're really making inroads. We're making an impact here. I'll turn around this way a little bit. Hope I'm not making you guys dizzy walking around like this, but I want to get you to see some parts of the show too. It's massive. This is just the south lower hall that I'm in. Usually I start here, but I was up at the west hall this morning because there were two software companies that I needed to speak with. The one that we use and one that we may use in the future. And I had two great meetings this morning with them, and they were talking about this. They were saying, the podcasters is, it's kind of, I guess in the years past, if you came here as a podcaster, they kind of looked at you and go, oh, you're a podcaster. You're one of those, right? Well, not anymore. Not anymore. They have full sections dedicated to podcasters. Literally. And we're making a bigger difference here as time goes on, and they're seeing it. They're recognizing that the podcasters are a big part of the future. And I think if we look at it from that perspective, it makes a lot of sense to keep doing what we're doing because we're having an impact. We're planting the seed that is starting to sprout now and starting to grow and starting to make a difference. And that's really the most exciting part of all of it. I mean, the technology is cool, and meeting the people here are cool, and the meetings are fun, and all the rest of that. But really, to see the impact that we're having, it's really gets you remotivating, gets you back on the bandwagon, right? So, I'm getting tired of these, so much work to do these things, and are we really having an impact? And when you can see it on a larger level like that, you go, wow, that is cool. That we are making an impact. We are making a difference here. And the companies are recognizing it. They're actually, when you come up to them, you say, I'm a podcaster. Oh, really? Come, tell me more. What's your podcast? What do you talk about? And one fellow was telling me, he says he's got 1 million views on YouTube. I'm like, oh, yeah, I wish I could be on YouTube too, but I can't. And the content we talk about, we get strikes and get kicked off. How many times has Lewis been kicked off YouTube? How many channels has Scott McKay had? I think he's on 37, 38. Again and again, it's like we just know we can't play there, although the audiences are bigger. So we're hoping things will change. I think they will, based on what we're starting to see here. We're seeing a lot of people really understanding that there's a lot of demand for what we're doing. A lot of the things that we've been working on, and the news shows that we do, and the people that we're reaching, and all of you make a difference, by the way. It's not like you're just sitting there passively. Your numbers, when you like our channel, you share our channel, you comment in the chat room, all of that is a metric. All of that makes a big difference and starts to push the message forward. And the more people that do that, the more people see it, and we end up growing. And over time, we're making a bigger and bigger impact, and it's showing here. And it's kind of fun because, I would say I came here in 2019, just before COVID. And the podcasters, they had a little podcast pavilion. They had like 5 vendors. It's like nothing, right? Podcasts are okay. They're there. They're going to show up. All right, we'll give them a little something, right? But now it's all over the place. It's everywhere. They don't really talk about it. They don't use the word podcast as much as maybe we'd like to see. But okay, maybe it's not a podcast. But now they talk about shows, and they talk about live streams. Live streaming is massive. There's so many companies producing software now for it. Why? Because it's taking over mainstream media. So I want you to think about this. The Fox News that you watch, the ABC, NBC, CBS, right? All those guys. NPR, there's probably that going away with NPR. It's not going to be around forever. They can't continue to exist without the USAID money, without Big Pharma money. When RFK Jr. pulls Big Pharma advertising, those guys are done. And then it's going to land on us. I've always said this. I said the podcasters are going to lead the way forward. We're going to be the next generation. We're going to be the ones who, turn the ship around. And I can see it. And I met a couple of fellows this morning. They have a YouTube channel. They get 1 million views a week, and the kind of thing that they're doing. And he's telling me, he says, I'm walking around here, and people are coming up to me asking to do selfies because I'm a rock star all of a sudden. He goes, I never expected this. That's the kind of thing that's happening. So once we can get the censorship off of YouTube and we can start talking there, then we'll have a community that will be easier to reach. Rumble has its challenges. We know Rumble's not perfect. Actually, I tried to stream the feed here to see if it was playing, and it took me 3 tries to get it to go. It's just the way it is. It's what Rumble is right now. And a couple of software companies go, yeah, we integrate with YouTube, we integrate with Facebook, but Rumble, we don't know. So I guess our hope for growth really is going to be, hey, let's get YouTube going again. Let's get in that space where we can get YouTube rocking. Where there's no censorship and we can have conversations without caching our words. Don't we all want that? We all want to reach a larger audience. We all want to be able to tell people what's going on, what's happening, right? So that's what I'm hopeful for. I've been learning a lot here, as if I need to learn any more about this industry. There's always something new. There's always new innovations. And I'll be back to really watching more of the news. I think I'll be here again tomorrow. I think Kevin's going to join me tomorrow. Yeah, I'm all solo today, but I think Kevin will be actually here with me tomorrow. We'll do about half a day or so, and then I'll head back to California, and I'll be back in the studio on Wednesday. We'll be watching the news and figuring out, what our next steps are. But I've got a lot of ideas, and Lewis and I have been talking a lot about the shows and what we want to do, and working with Matt and Verity Metals. And by the way, Matt is sponsoring this show and all our shows. You want to find out more about investing in gold and silver, veritymetals.com, or you can call Matt 480-717-9081. Hey, I did that by memorizing it. Woohoo! That's pretty cool. 480-717-9081. He'd be impressed if he heard that. Anyway, so we're looking at what the next steps are going to be, what we can do to bring this to a larger audience, what we can do to make it more fun for you. A lot of those kind of things are, conversations that we have behind the scenes, because you guys make it happen. It's not us dictating to you what show we're doing. It is you telling us what kind of show you'd like to see. So the more you do that, the more you communicate with us. And by the way, you guys email me, Robert at renegademedia.tv. And the more you do that and tell me what you love about this show, what could be improved, what we could add to it, what could make it better for you, would very much appreciate that. We don't often know, and I think, if you get the idea when you're talking to a lot of people, like I'm reading a lot of people in mainstream media here, that's what this show is about, right? National Association of Broadcasters, NAB. So we're meeting a lot of people in mainstream media, and you hear how much they survey their audience, how many questions they ask, and how many surveys and quizzes and all kinds of things they put out there to find out what they want, and they just deliver it to them. And that's how the audience grows. So we haven't done a whole lot of that. I think we've been a little remiss in doing that. I think we need to get into that a little bit more. So that means we want to hear from you. Either indirectly, officially, unofficially, whatever. Let us know what you like, what would you'd like to see change, what would you like to see different, and we'll start working in that direction to deliver you better shows as we go forward. But there's a lot here. There's a lot to unpack. I have a little rollie that I have with me. I wish I could see it here. Hard to see it. Camera's doing its own thing today. I carry that around. I got all the propaganda. I call it propaganda, all the brochures and stuff from all the booths that I've been through. And I go home and I'll unpack all of that and go through it. And you'll find, how we can improve the show. I'm always looking for the way that we can take the show to the next level. What do we need to do? What is it that's going to make the biggest difference? What is it going to make it more fun for you? And right now, I think the challenge we have more than anything is, bringing on our guests. We have some lip sync issues that are kind of ongoing. They're there, they're not there, they're there, they're not there. It's like chasing butterflies sometimes. It's really hard to find it. And I got some insight into what's going on there. It's a Zoom issue more than is anything. So that'll be interesting to see how we can resolve that. Maybe we need to get off of Zoom and try something else. But that's one thing. We always look for ways to make it better for you. The other thing we're hearing a lot is Rumble. Rumble's a challenge for many of you. I heard people send me emails and say our 12-hour summit, some were kicked off, some weren't able to continue to watch. So we need to figure that out. Bandwidth is not cheap. If we were going to do that, it would be several $1,000s in bandwidth to pay for it. To be able to do a 12-hour event like that. So, we'd have to charge for it for you guys to watch, and we don't want to do that. We'd like to do it for free. So we've got to find a way around that so we can have alternate channels to Rumble, which we have X, but X had problems this past time too, and it had been really solid for us, but this past time it gave us a lot of challenges, and I think it started 4 times, stopped and started about 4 different times on our X channel. So not really the solution there yet, although we're hoping that may happen. What else? If you're looking for, some motivation, some inspiration, I'm going to tell you it's always a good idea to go on vacation more than you think you need to go on vacation. Getting out of the house, getting out of your normal routine is really important. It opens up your mind space to new ideas. I had so many ideas driving. I drove to Vegas. People say, Rob, why didn't you take the airplane? Why don't you fly? It's an hour flight. It's an hour flight, but it's an hour and a half from my house to get to the airport. I have to get to the airport 2 hours early. I'm already in 3.5 hours. It's an hour flight. That's 4 hours. Another hour to get a rental car. 5 hours. I get here in 3.5. That's why I drive. Makes more sense. So get out of the house more often. Take breaks from the news especially. Take breaks for yourself. And let your thinking expand. And one of the things I really love is going to seminars or right here at this show. tons of ideas, tons of things that we can do to take the shows and actually. Maybe I shouldn't spill the beans of this, but coming up with ideas for even new shows. It's like the shows we've been doing have been great, but how about new shows? How about different content? How about different subject matter, as an example? So we're looking at a lot of that. A lot of that kind of stuff is sort of on the horizon, and I got a lot of great ideas. I got to write them down because I'll forget them. And Lewis is like that too. There's tons of ideas, and it's the implementation that does take the time. So we're going to keep working on that to bring you better content. More fun content too. I really enjoy, trying different things and bringing different things to the table. Right now, my rig here is very simple. Just an iPhone on an Osmo, DJI Osmo with obviously a DJI mic. I'm not a fan of the green flashing light though. Like really, really distracting. I'm trying to keep it out of frame so you don't see it because it's a little distracting seeing it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a perfectionist. But yeah, looking at what we can do to bring more video from the field to you rather than always being in studio. I think that's a cool thing. I know a lot of people responded well to the video I did a few weeks ago when I was up in the Grove and talking to you there. And people were like, wow, it's so much better than being in the studio. It breaks things up a little bit. Yeah, it certainly does, no question. And certainly being at a show like this does that as well. We've got different things to look at here. I still have an hour and a half before they close. So I'm going to get back and dig in a little bit more. We've been through almost half a gallon of water already because it's Vegas and it is dry, but having a lot of fun with that. So to leave you with the motivation, just take more vacation time. Break it out. You're more productive the less you work than the more you work, believe it or not. And I never believed that, but over the course of my long journey here, I've learned the less hours you put in, the more productive you are. And the more time you can take off to do fun things, the better those productive hours are because you're inspired. So you want to get inspired, go on vacation. Tell your hubby, tell your wife, hey, honey, we're going on vacation this weekend. I don't care if it's a one-day trip, a road trip. Those are fun. And actually, as I was driving up here, I was thinking on Phoebe, it's like, we need to do this. There's a place on the way to Vegas that is about an hour and a half from the house. Like, why don't we come here more often? This will be fun. So I think Sunday I'm going to get her in the car. We're going to go do that just to break the routine up a little bit because it gets a little bit mundane doing the same thing over and over again. Change the scenery, change your mindset, and get rid of the fog, and you'll find there's a lot of good ideas that will come through. And plus, it'll boost your energy. People are always looking, how do I boost my energy? How do I boost my energy? Well, a lot of your energy is because you're exhausted. Change your environment a little bit. I think you'll find that that'll go a long way to helping you be more successful at whatever it is you're trying to do. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys for being patient with me today and watching this show that's rather less newsy. And, I guess, NAB is news. I certainly call it news. I mean, they gave me a media badge, right? So I'm media now as far as NAB is concerned. And I told them I would do a live stream from here and do some interviews, and I've done that. And we'll be posting those up for special user groups. They're not something that you guys will be interested in particularly. But there's a lot to see, a lot of people to talk to. It's a 4-day show. I probably do need all 4 days if I really want to do this show right. But I got a day and a half. That's all I got. Oh well. I'm happy. I'm having a great time. I hope you are too. Lots of love to all of you. And we'll see you Friday. We'll be back on the air with Lewis on Friday. Take care. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate you.